Trade monitor. I need to get this motherfucker. Fetch all what? Fetch trade data. Get user position model, interfaces, user history. So model user history maybe. Okay, I mean this is a decent bot to help with this process. It doesn't look like it's gonna have everything for us, but hey, it's good. It's helped us with getting the USDC already. So read me here. Example bot. Let's go ahead and say poly market trading bot. Actually, want to read this. The vast majority of polymarket users are trying to predict outcomes like Trump's next move on a tariff or this year's NBA championship. But a smaller group performs a critical role by providing liquidity that ensures trades are executed at a tight bid-ask spread. During the 2024 U.S. presidential election, Polymark distributed over 25K daily in market maker rewards. Here's how I became a top 5 recipient by doing something radical. Measuring volatility. I'm also open sourcing my code. One of these users, DFinance CR, spoke to the Oracle about he built an automated system that generated $700, $800 per day of profit at its peak, and his decision to shut it down and open source the code. This interview has been edited for length. All answers are his own. How would you explain the importance of liquidity on Polymarket to someone who isn't a trader? Polymarket is an exchange. It matches buyers and sellers of yes and no shares in all the different markets. So unlike a casino or sports book, there's no house that users are trading against. It's other users who are offering shares at various prices. For example, when someone wants to buy shares that Trump will win, they need someone willing to sell them those shares. When we talk about liquidity on the exchange, we are referring to how many shares are available to trade at a given price. What's the difference between a very liquid and a very illiquid market? You can see the liquidity in any market by looking at the order book, which is shown below the main market graph. This tells you how many shares are being offered at different prices. For example, in the NBA championship market, there's over 300K of orders on the buy side and 27K on the sell side. You can trade tens of thousands of dollars of shares in either direction without moving the price by a penny. Compare that to an illiquid market, like will the next James Bond be British, where the spread is 34 cents. If you buy a few bucks worth and immediately try to sell, you'd lose about 50% just from the spread. These markets are illiquid because they're hard to price. They move unpredictably, and don't have enough trader interest. What do liquidity providers do? Liquidity providers place orders on both sides of the market, buy and sell, hoping to profit by capturing the spread between them. They earn money from the spread plus Polymarket's liquidity rewards on the market, if any. How do you identify good markets for liquidity provision? The key in finding markets with low volatility but high rewards. Most traders do this manually, but I'm a bit more systematic. I built a bot that analyzes historical price movements across different time frames: 3 hours, 24 hours, 7 days, and 30 days. For example, in the Canada Prime Minister market, Pierre's odds might fluctuate between 22 and 25% over several weeks. That's low volatility. Meanwhile, a market about which country the US will sign a trade deal with, where a game-changing headline could come at any minute, might have massive spreads and unpredictable swings. Low volatility means you're less likely to get stuck with a bad position when news hits. You can place orders on both sides and sleep well knowing you won't make